more jobs. If that's true, then the question is, how do we generate more jobs, right? How do we alleviate that frustration which is driving the dissatisfaction?
Right.
Legalize weed. That's
I think the frustration here is the fact that income in this country is not distributed well whatsoever. That's the problem. Is you have people who have the power to generate jobs. They have no incentive to generate jobs because they have all the money as it is. If they generate more jobs, that's what's going to distribute the income more. And the guys on Wall Street have no incentive to do so. They're making their money. Why do they care about the rest of us?
So how do we incentivize them to do it?
That's the problem.
What's the answer?
Honestly, if we're going to bail them out every single time that they get in financial trouble, that's our problem right there. Two, they have all the federal backing from the government in the world right now. I mean, there's an international system that just allows investment bankers to do whatever the hell they want. I mean...
So you support, for instance, say, like the Volcker rackets going on right now?
Not necessarily, but I mean,
which is it? I mean, should we regulate them so they can't do whatever they want? Okay, so you do support it.
I mean...
Well, but what do you mean by can't do whatever you want, though?
It was his statement. So you feel that investment bankers can do whatever they want?
For the most part, yeah.
And so now there's increased regulation on them, which you support. And that will lead to maybe 20,000 lost jobs in this city. I'm just saying, right?
Why would that lead to 20,000 less jobs?
Because as this is a finance-driven city, right? There are a lot of finance jobs around here. And as they're more and more regulated, you're already seeing increased layoffs in this city.
You think the layoffs are a result of regulation?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
There's no question.
I think they use the regulation.
What regulation, specifically, what regulation would you say is responsible for the layoffs?
Sure, I mean, numerous regulations, right?
Specifically, which one?
You're restricting banks' profits, right? Banks are no longer allowed to charge.
Are you telling me that banks' profits are hurting, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think that banks' profits are hurting? You think banks don't have a lot of money?
JP Morgan profits were down 3 days ago. Read the news. It's factual.
Okay.
I mean, we can say that.
So you're saying that banks don't have a lot of money. You're saying that banks' bottom lines are hurting.
Yeah, as their profits go down, they will generate fewer jobs.
I'm asking you right now. You think that the unemployment right now is due because...
You guys move it up 5 feet up that way?
You think the unemployment right now is due to the fact that banks don't have enough money. That's why they're laying people off, because they haven't made enough money. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Well, you're free to that opinion, but I think there are an awful lot of facts out there that, yeah.
Do you really think so?
Banks have been posting profits.
You think if banks' profits were going up, then they'd be laying people off? If they had the opportunity to hire and increase their profits, they wouldn't do it?
I think they'd be outsourcing.
I don't think their profits dropping the bit they have if they haven't dropped.
But they haven't dropped. Banks have been posting record profits. How could you possibly say? How could you stand here and say that banks aren't?
Last year as a bonus. How many millions?
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could you possibly say that banks are not making enough money and that's why they're laying people off?
Yeah, Bank of America and several others. I don't know them all by name. They just inserted that new $5.
Right. They had their fees cut by Obama's regulations, right? They were no longer able to charge Walmart and other retailers credit card fees.
But just with that one new fee, they stand to make $2 billion more annually.
Right, but then that's just replacing a fee that they were paying that was lost.
So if they're replacing the fee that was lost,
when they did credit card transactions, they used to charge retailers, right? You go and buy something at Walmart, they charge Walmart. Now they can't do that anymore. Regulations, right? That was cut out. So then they replaced that fee by charging a fee to the consumers.
But we all know all those fees always go back to the consumer.
I'm just trying to make a point that there's a cause and effect, right? You could say, let's regulate banks, but then they will lay off more people because they will not make as much money.
But they are not making less money.
You may still feel that we should regulate banks, but just understand the effect of what you're advocating.
But there has to be truth when you talk about cause and effects. There has to be an element of truth.